भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो 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 भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णुपते प्रभुपदप्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुभक्तवरदाय श्रीहरिभक्तिवेदांत। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णुपते श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने नाम। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशता मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतापहम्। Jai Shri Prabhupada. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness. So we read text 18, which continues unto 19. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow and an elephant, a dog and a dog eat. Text 19. So I hope you remember something of what we discussed on this text, which was very interesting. Ihaiva te jita sargo yesham samye sthitam manaha निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थितः
तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थितः।
Yeah, can you take this?
Iha in this life, Eva certainly, Teh by them, Jita conquered, Sarga birth and death, Yesham whose Samye in equanimity, Sthitam situated, Mana mind, Nirdosham flawless, he certainly, Samam in equanimity, Brahma like the Supreme, Tasmat therefore Brahmani in the Supreme, Te they sthita are situated. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. Purport: equanimity of mind, as mentioned above, is the sign of self-realization. Those who have actually attained to such a stage should be considered to have conquered material conditions, especially birth and death. As long as one identifies with this body, he is considered a conditioned soul. But as soon as he is elevated to the stage of equanimity through realization of self, he is liberated from conditional life. In other words, he is no longer subject to take birth in this material world, but can enter into the spiritual sky after his death. The Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. Such persons are to be considered already liberated, and their symptoms are described below.
Okay, so this is about equanimity, right? So in this world consists of what? Attraction and hatred, right? I am attracted to this, so I hate this. So equanimity of mind. So equipoise, equanimity, meaning that I'm not hating anybody, no, I am having any preferences, right? I'm attracted to this. So equanimity of mind, as mentioned above, the sign of self-realization. So we're actually reading a most wonderful book, Srila Prabhupada book called Path of Perfection. We recommend that all of you read this book, Path of Perfection, because whatever Prabhupada is explaining in a very small, short paragraph, he's explaining in huge detail, in a small book. And specifically, it's chapters 6 and 8, but it's all together, right? So here's about the mind. So Srila Prabhupada explained that this soul, when the soul comes in this material world, he acquires a mind. Okay? Alright? He acquires a mind. And this soul, he's coming with a little independence. Alright? Krishna's fully independent. So the soul is also coming with a little independence. Soul is naturally have little independence. And do you know where that independence rests in this body? Remember? In the mind. In the mind. This independence is given to the mind. So therefore, equanimity means where you are properly using your independence to choose. Independence means choice, right? I mean, that's why when we say people are mad, these days we say people are mad. Very easy to say people because they mad. They act as if they're mad. What does that mean? They are not using their independence properly. They're not able to choose what is good for them, what is not good for them. They're not able to appreciate others and therefore they don't know how to be beneficial to others, and they don't know what is not beneficial, and therefore they don't know how to avoid that which is not beneficial. So here, Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to utilize our independence properly so that the mind becomes in equanimity, neither hatred nor attraction. Right? See, if I have hatred for something or someone, that's when my mind goes mad and do all types of mad things or speak all types of mad things. Right? Think. So equanimity of mind, as mentioned earlier, is a sign of self-realization, meaning that when we are utilizing our independence properly, it means that the soul is in charge. Right? The soul has now taken charge of the mind. Instead of giving the independence to the mind, now the soul has reclaimed its control over his independence or her independence. Those who have actually attained to such a state should be considered to have conquered material conditions, specifically birth and death. Are you able to understand this? Because if you're able to control your mind, meaning that your free will, your independence has gone back to the soul. Right? Meaning that this soul no longer is interested in the material body. Right? So automatically, there is no more birth and death, meaning this is the life when he leaves this body, there's going to be no birth and death. Are you able to understand this? Good enough? No? This soul, by constitution, has independence. Small. Okay? And when we come in this material world, so this soul puts his independence in the mind. Alright? Meaning, my mind, whatever you want to do, do. Alright? And soul is sleeping. So it's as if you, the person, has dual personality. One is your real self, and one is your mind, which has taken over yourself. It's like being possessed, actually. It's like being possessed. So, somebody who is not making any effort to control his mind, so he's allowing that mind to work the way the mind feels like. Right? So it's like dual personality. So when we reach this point, equanimity of mind, meaning that now that independence that we have given to the mind, now we've taken it back from the mind. Meaning that I decide and the mind has to follow. Right? So when that independence is taken away from the mind, then it means that you don't require the mind.
Don't require?
You don't require a mind.
Without mind.
Yeah, you don't require the mind. Then the mind is material.
So how we will survive in material world without mind?
That's exactly the point. You don't have to live in the material world.
But still, till when we have body, until
Yeah,
the
so
body
here
is
we're
there.
speaking about equanimity of mind, the way I have just explained, is the sign of self-realization. Meaning that you have taken the independence from your mind. Alright? You decide, you tell the mind what to do. Okay? Those who have actually attained to such a state should be considered to have conquered material conditions, specifically birth and death. Meaning there is no more birth and no more death. You follow? You follow? Right? Meaning you don't need the mind anymore. You don't need the body anymore. You follow?
Yes.
So your soul will work.
Yes.
So,
Free soul. Free soul. And free soul has his own mind.
okay.
His own mind, his own intelligence.
Oh.
Yes, spiritual body, right? Isn't it? As long as one identifies with this body. So, me, the soul, I'm accepting my gross body and my mental body as myself. So, as long as one identifies with this body, is considered a conditioned soul, Baddha Jeev. That Atma has become locked in the body, and so his Baddha is tied. So, this is called conditioned soul. That's the word used. But as soon as he's elevated to the stage of equanimity through realization of self, so as soon as I understand I am the soul and not the body, I'm a soul, and I take back the independence I have given to the mind, I take it back, meaning I start to identify with my body. So what happens? So this is, we are elevated now. We are elevated to equanimity. So what happened? He's liberated from condition the way I have explained. Is it clear?
Yes.
In other words, he is no longer subject to take birth in the material world, but can enter into the spiritual sky after his death. Or the death of his body. Understand what's going on. The body is subject to death. Gross body. Alright? But the subtle body, the mind, doesn't die. Alright? So what happened? The blueprint for your next body is in the mental body, right? Isn't it? So even though you burn the gross body, but the mental body is there. And because of that mental body, you are going to again grow another gross body. But when you have removed the mind itself from the soul, alright? Meaning that when the body is burned, along with it, your
Mind
also
also.
is gone. Alright? You give up the mind also, the mental body. You give it up. Right? So, so he can enter into the spiritual sky after his death. You understand what's the problem? The problem is we don't give up the mind. Because the mind is it's like the seed, it's like the storehouse of all that we want to do. Right? All our desires, our thought, that's just storehouse. And because of that, you start manufacturing another body. Right? But when you give up the mind itself, right? So then the soul is free. This is one stage. So, but he can enter the spiritual side after his death. The Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred. So the Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. The Lord is flawless. Now understand that the Lord has a mind. Alright? The Lord has mind, has intelligence. Alright? But he doesn't have temporary mind or temporary intelligence. Right? He doesn't have a mind and intelligence that is affected by the three gunas. Right? So his pure mind is Vishuddha Sattva, is pure mind, pure intelligence, and therefore is flawless. And because he doesn't have that mind and intelligence that is contaminated by the three gunas, therefore there is no attraction and no hatred for him. Alright? So this attraction and hatred is happening due to the three gunas. So now Prabhupada is explaining that just as the Supreme Lord is flawless, similarly, when a living entity is without attraction and hatred, he also becomes flawless. Follow the equation? in very complicated language in Sanskrit. Here Prabhupada is speaking in very, very simple English language. Alright? So similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. Such persons ought to be considered already liberated. So, meaning that when we come to this point, meaning I don't let my mind devour me. Right? What happens with the mind? The mind has accumulated kam, krodh, lobha, moha, matsarya, but these are the sadripu, the enemies of the soul, and it is all seated in the mind. Right? So when through Krishna consciousness, meaning through contacting Krishna, I don't let the mind dominate me. Alright? So here Prabhupada is saying that even though I'm living in this world, I have a material body, I have a material mind also. Alright? Both, because the gross body cannot function without the mind. Alright? So though I am living in this gross body, which is like a, what we call that, a hardware and a software, right? So it exists here, but because you are in charge of your body and your mind, therefore you're liberated. As soon as you come to this point where you are totally in charge of your mind, alright? You are liberated. So this is what Prabhupada is saying. Such persons are to be considered already liberated, and the symptoms are described. Now let's read. Na prahishyat priyam prapya.
Na prahishyat priyam
Prapya.
Nadvijat prapya cha priyam.
Nadvijat prapya cha priyam.
Sthira buddhira sammukho.
Sthira buddhi sammudo
Brahmavid brahmani sthitaha.
Brahmani sthitaha. Na never prashyat rejoices priyam the pleasant praptya achieving na does not utivijit become agitated praptya obtaining cha also apariyam the unpleasant sthira buddhi self intelligent asamudha unbewildered Brahmavit, one who knows the Supreme perfectly. Brahmani, in the transcendental, sthita, situated. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence. Purport by Divine Grace Prabhupada. The symptoms of the self-realized person are given herein. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of the body with his true self. He knows perfectly well that he is not this body. He is the fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does not lament in losing anything, which is related to his body. This steadiness of mind is called sthira buddhi, or self-intelligence. He is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. This knowledge elevates him to the station of knowing the complete science of the absolute truth, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. He thus knows that his constitutional position perfectly well, without falsely trying to become one with the Supreme in all respects. This is called Brahman realization or self-realization. Such steady consciousness is called Krishna consciousness.
So, the symptom that one is liberated is given here. Right? What is the symptom? First, the person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, something good happened, so I'm very happy, pravishyat. No laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, right? Something unpleasant happens, so who is lamenting? Who is self-intelligent? Sthira buddhi, who is self-intelligent. Sthira means
Steady.
fixed, fixed. Sthira, meaning that which doesn't move. Sthira buddhi, who is unbewildered. Asammudha. Mudha means
Buddha is Murk.
yes. Yeah, Mudha means a fool.
Fool.
Right? Sammudha means
Intelligent?
Sammudha. Sammudha means a total fool.
Okay.
Right? Mudha is fool. Sammudha means he's a total fool. Right? So we are all total fools in this world. We are bewildered. Right? Asammudha means unbewildered. You see, the world right now, specifically, they're completely in sammudha, right? Each and every quarrel that happens in this world is due to this sammudha, isn't it? In your household, everywhere, it's due to this sammudha. Unfortunately, it's like now we have to learn, right? We have to learn to understand one another, right? In the household also, right? 5 people are not able to stay in one household. Doesn't matter how big or small the house is. 5 people are not able to stay. Don't think even 3 people are able to stay, right? Some would have completely bewildered. Now, asammudha, this is the symptom of freedom from birth and death, liberation. Asammudha, unbewildered, who knows the science of God, Brahmavit. Like right now we are learning the science of Brahman, right? We are learning very systematically. Who knows the science of God, so he's already situated in transcendence. So symptoms are given here. Doesn't rejoice when he achieves something pleasant, doesn't lament when he gets something unpleasant, whose intelligence is sthira, meaning he doesn't lose his intelligence, right? If that intelligence is not sthira, the mind will go crazy, right? Because what is it that's controlling that mind? It is intelligence, right? Intelligence is controlling the mind, and higher than intelligence is the soul, right? So first, in the hierarchy like this. So self-intelligence meaning the soul, the intelligence of the soul.
Where does this intelligence generate, Mataji?
Sorry?
Where does this intelligence generate?
It is given by default when the body is created. By default, this intelligence is given. Just like when you buy a computer, they say built-in internet system, right?
Maybe last month we had so many disasters because of that.
No, intelligence, no. With the creation of the body. With the creation of the body, the mind and intelligence is there, but specifically that intelligence. We read in Bhagavatam, it said that a gift of God, in all this sambuddha, right? In all the sambuddha, so Bhagavatam describes the entire creation of the body. So he said, a gift of God is what? Intelligence. A gift of God, because that is your doorway to liberation. So if you don't sit and study this Brahmavit, your intelligence will remain undeveloped. Then you are just like an animal, right? So today, children go to school and they become animals, right? They become out animals. Why? Because there is no Brahmavit,
Brahmavit.
right? Isn't it?
So is intelligence negatively affected by the outer, like mind is affected by outer situations, circumstances, positively, negatively, mind is always affected.
Yes.
So like intelligence, if we have this much intelligence, so
Yeah.
there is possibility of going it in negative now, no? It will not
Mind will overcome.
Intelligence is also contaminated,
Mind will
right? Intelligence will capture, that everybody's giving you, make a plan, give you the intelligence, right? How to do it, isn't it?
So that is negative.
Yes. Yeah. So therefore, this Brahmavit, that intelligence is the gateway to our liberation. If intelligence is gone, then where's the hope? Right? So Brahmavit, that's why Prabhupada is doing this book distribution. This is distribution of Brahmavit, Brahmavidya, right? Give out this Brahmavidya. If there is no Brahmavidya, what will be left? Pashu or Vidya, right?
By this intelligence, by reading Shastras, we can strengthen our intelligence and then we can control the mind.
Yes, yes, because that intelligence is Krishna, right? So we hear that the intelligence is a next door neighbor to the soul. You have understood? Alright? So intelligence is mentioned here as self-intelligence, sthira buddhi. The symptom of the self-realized person is given here. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of the body with his true self. Clear? If we do that, then we are an animal. He knows perfectly well that he is not this body. Animal think they are the body. Alright? They have no other understanding, no other conception. So what do we know if we are not under illusion? We know we are not this body, but that we are a fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord. Alright?
Yes.
Like these days, children, they reproach their parents, why did you give birth to me?
Yes.
Right? Why did you give birth to me? But actually, we are eternally a fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord. Alright? So when there is total ignorance, this is what we speak. Right? Whose fault is it? Parents. Right? Parents are to be blamed. Teachers are to be blamed. Government leaders are the number one to be blamed. Right? Sequence is given in Bhagavatam. Right? But ignorance of this jeev is resting upon so many people. Isn't it? If government is strong, why this war is being fought? Mahabharata, why is it being fought? In order to make sure the government is giving proper education to the praja. Right? So now we know we are not the body, but we are fragmental portion of the Supreme Person Godhead, meaning we are eternal. Supreme Lord is eternal. Therefore, automatically I am eternal. And by circumstances, I have acquired a material body. By circumstances. It's not natural, but it so happened. We speak like that, it so happened. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in losing anything which is related to his body. For example, let's say I become famous. Sometime, they say, when I was at school, I was so famous. I was, everybody thought I'm so beautiful. So I used to walk on this beauty ramp, right? And then after, I got married, everything all fat and all ugly, and nobody look at me twice, right? So am I going to sit and rejoice and lament with what I lost? Right? He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in anything, in losing anything which is related to his body. This steadiness of mind is called sthira buddhi, or self-intelligence. Intelligence, the capacity of discriminating, right? Analyzing, discriminating. Defining what is proper, what is not proper. And intelligence also means capacity to understand, right? To grasp. And the more we come close to Krishna, the way Arjuna is coming close to Krishna, the more the power of intelligence is increasing. Right? Intelligence is not fixed. Like we say, IQ. Right? We say IQ, this is fixed. You're born with an IQ.
Yes.
But here, your intelligence is growing. Alright? It is growing, it's actually growing. Right? If we all go in a classroom, when we were in 5th standard, everybody was taught the same thing, right? Then as you start growing up, then you say, no, I don't like this, I don't like this, I like this. Right? So we are all different. And I'm able to accept, even in a particular line, I'm able to understand only according to my IQ. Right? But Brahmavit means I can expand my intelligence up to the limit of the size of my soul. Right? Sthira buddhi. So this sthira, steadiness of mind, is called sthira buddhi, or self-intelligence. He is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body for the soul. Nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. So what happened? Even though we read, we hear that we are not the body and the soul, but we put it back, later I will work for the soul. Right now, let me do my work for the body. Or you are not doing this, all of you, right? Every Wednesday, Tuesday, you come here, you listen, and then you go home, you do exactly as if you're the body, right? Yes. Isn't it? You say, yes, I have heard, and this is all later. Right? This is what's being discussed here. So, because the samudha has not been released, right? We're still in samudha. So, therefore, we have to continually read Bhagavad Gita. Continue, not once a week, but continually we have to read. What is that reading? Reading means you're hearing Krishna's message. Upadesh, Krishna Upadesh, right? Which is entering into your ear, alright? And this ear is the doorway to the soul, which is sleeping, alright? It's a sound. It's Upadesh. It's a sound. So it has to enter until the soul wakes up and take charge. Right? You understand what's going on right now? You are sleeping and your mind is the master of your body. Whatever we may be doing, we are like sleeping souls, right? You know, like sometimes people they sleep and they walk in their sleep. They're like that. The real self is not visible. It's terrible. That's why some people believe the body is the self, because that's all they are seeing. Right? And then they say, why this person behaving such a crazy way? Let's be crazy. Right? That's how when somebody behaves in a way that's not according to our expectation, immediately you say he's crazy. Immediately. And true. What is that craziness? What's that crazy? He's misusing his independence. Right? Misusing the independence. He's choosing how to behave. He's not in the culture of relationships. Right? If you're a human being, what is it? What is the meaning of animal and what is the meaning of human being? Animal means, like say, he lives like an animal. Human beings mean there is a culture of relationships. Right? How you interact with each other. Right? Yeah. How do you live in the house? How you act with society. Right? So we say society. So this is possible only when you are utilizing your mind properly. Right? If you have let loose your mind, you can't understand. You follow? These are the secrets. We are going everywhere, to doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists. We are taking God knows what. Here Bhagavad Gita is explaining to you what it is. So all those madness is actually simply the soul is not making an effort to control the independence that's been given to the mind. Follow? We don't make an effort. Some people are happy to just let loose and be mad. They're happy because it's so easy, no effort, no austerity. No austerity involved. Just let loose. But it's not appreciated. If you're a human being, it is not appreciated. Right? If you're monkeys, you say, anyway, it's monkey, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? You say, it's a monkey, it's a dog. What do you expect? Best example is monkey, right? It has a mind that is chattering, right? It does things, busy, right? Monkey is very busy, isn't it? and they look so much like humans, right? Though they walk on 4 feet, but they've got hands, right? So some people believe we are evolving from monkeys. Right? You learned that at school. Evolving from monkeys. Why? You understand now why? Because the mind is behaving without control. Let's
say that soul does involve in everything, but the soul doesn't do anything. Right?
No, he's sleeping for him, for her. He's sleeping. It's an automatic machine like that AI, robots, right? These robots, right? I don't know, somebody said in future robots will be walking the street, you won't be able to recognize. Exactly this. How are they producing robots? How are they producing robots? who will greet you at the door, will be a beautiful robot. Right? You won't even know it's a robot. He smiles, or she smiles, I don't know. All the gestures, maybe automatic robot, Indian gesture, right? We will do this. We are exactly like this. The soul is sleeping and the body and mind robot is working. Right? So the soul is very unhappy. In all this situation, this soul is in total distress, totally unhappy to be in this situation. And because of this ignorance, right? Total ignorance of who we are, what we are. We are not robot, we are soul, right? Isn't it? Because of this ignorance, we are in total distress. Let's continue here. So, one who is not a fool, right? Total fool, sambuddha, right? So he never, so meaning his self-intelligence, so it's one who is sthira buddhi, is intelligent. We are text 25:20. Your book?
Naturally, I have, but I am not feeling well.
Okay. So he is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body. Now you have understood what is the gross body. I've just told you about the robot, okay? By mistaking the gross body for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. So I'm giving you an example because this is what's in the world right now, right? Yantra it's called. Yantra. I just heard Prabhupada saying that in Kali Yuga, the main thing is yantra. So all machines, so your body has been duplicated, replicated or duplicated, right? And even the intelligence also AI, this is artificial intelligence, right? So the gross robot plus the robotic, right, plus the AI intelligence put together. So if you believe that's what you are, so here we are in distress, right? So when you wake up, the soul wake up, he's not bewildered, right? He's moved out from his bewilderment. And he understands, so he understands that this body actually is not permanent, meaning that robot is not a permanent thing. It's a machine, right? How long will it last? Tell me, how long will it last? We buy a machine, right?
5 years.
5 years? Every 5 years you have to change the robot?
Yeah. But they say AI will take over the humans, robot will take over.
Yeah, you have to keep on changing, right?
No, but because they will evolve more than the humans, because they don't believe in solar eclipse.
Yeah, meaning that they become expert in
More than humans.
Yes, so you can see how it works. What are they doing? They're imitating the human body, right? They're studying, right? They're studying and then they're imitating the human body. But as usual, we create something and then we lose control over it. Isn't it? We create something. This is the unfortunate thing that happens. We create something and then we lose control over it. And therefore Krishna has to come. Right? He has to come. Isn't it? We are like kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? We are like kids. So we go on, playing with toys, we create little Brahma, we are creating, right? And then, Vishnu has said, okay, play is over now, beta. It's all over. I take charge, right? This knowledge elevates one to the station. What a word Prabhupada has used. This knowledge elevates him to the station of knowing the complete science of the absolute truth. So meaning that once you understand that the body that you have here can be duplicated as a robot, right? Once you have understood this, then you are able to separate your real self from the robotic body. Alright? When you come to that stage, Prabhupada is saying you come to a station where you can understand what is Brahman. Alright? You can understand what is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. He thus knows his constitutional position perfectly well, without falsely trying to become one with the Supreme in all respects. So once we come out from this bodily conception, so what happens is that we become aware of our own self. So Prabhupada is saying at this point you are able to understand Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, and you are able to understand how you are one with that Brahman, at the same time you are different. You are one with that Brahman, but you are actually different. This is called Brahman realization or self-realization. Such steady consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. So what's happening is that we are understanding a little bit and then we are forgetting. We understand a little bit and then we forget. But remember, each time that you move forward, when you go backward, it is only like a little bit, right? Isn't it? So it's going to accumulate. It will accumulate until you come mid. And then it will increase until it becomes full. Is how it works. Like I just heard Prabhupada told one of his disciples, since the last 7 years I have been running after you. 7 lifetimes. Since the last 7 lifetimes I have been running after you. Right? Meaning that 7 lifetimes he is still in the chakra, right? Going on and on and on. Right? And Guru's pulling. Right? We speak like this, no? 7 lifetime. Because 7 lifetime, I guess that's the maximum that we can remember or trace per dada, right? 7, right? 7 lifetime is how old is this? 300, 400, 500 years, right? Maybe your village still exists 500 years ago, your village still exists, right? Your ancestors' home, you say 500 years ago, they were staying there, right? His Atma from 500 years is moving, right? It's moving. Today still here. Till today, still here, right? So it's good, sometimes to go back. Right? It's good to go back and understand that. And they say also, you read also Bhagavatam, you may be your own ancestor. Right? You take birth in your own family. Right? Yeah. If there is too much attachment. But if we give up, we can take birth in a better family. Right? We can take birth in families of devas. Right?
Or if we have done something wrong to the family.
Yeah. Yeah, we take birth. That's what I'm saying. We can take birth better, if we have graduated from that family situation. Text 21. Bahaya sparshe
Saktatma Vinyatam Manim Yashutsu Sabram Yogitatma Sukmakshyamakshute Bhaya Sparseshu in external sense, player, Kashta, Atma, one who is not attached, Vindati, enjoys,
Atmani in the self, yet that which Sukham, happiness, Sha, he, Brahma Yoga, by concentration in Brahman, Yukta Atman, self connected, Sukham, happiness, Aksham, unlimited, Ansute, enjoys. Such a liberated person is not attached to material sense, attracted to material senses, player, but is always in trance, enjoying the player within. In this way, the self realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for the concentrates on the Supreme. Purport: Shri Yamunacharya, a great devotee in Krishna consciousness, said, Yad avadhi mama चेतन कृष्ण पदारविंदे नवा नवा रसा धम्मन्ने उदितम रंतम असित तद अवधि बता नरी संगमे समारम्भने भवति मुखा विग्रह सुस्ते निष्ठि वनम चे. Since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in him. Whenever I think of sex, pleasure, I spit at the thought, and my lips curl with distaste. A person in Brahma Yoga or Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in the loving service of the Lord that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. The highest pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and materialist cannot work at all without this motivation. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with greater vigor without sex pleasure, which he avoids. That is the test in spiritual realization. Spiritual realization and sex pleasure go ill together. A Krishna conscious person is not attracted to any kind of sense pleasure due to his being a liberated soul.
So such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance. So that trance is samadhi, right?
Yes.
What is the meaning of samadhi?
Samadhi. With consciousness of Krishna, sitting with the consciousness of Krishna.
We have just described so much, right? Samadhi.
Samadhi.
Meaning the buddhi, the mind is sama, right? Equanimity, meaning not attracted and not
Hatred.
repulse, right? No attraction, no hatred. So, such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Why? How is it that he's enjoying unlimited happiness? The world is at war, right? Calamities everywhere, and this one is sitting around, right? Unmoved. Unmoved, right? His self-realized. So he's unmoved. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness for he's concentrated on the Supreme, right? So this is described here that this a materialist, unless he has some sensual pleasure, he cannot work. He becomes lazy. He doesn't work at all. Right? He doesn't work. unmotivated, but a person in Krishna consciousness can work with great vigor without sense pleasure. The materialist can work only when there is an impetus. You know, we say there should be a motivation, give him money or give him a position, whatever, right? Name, fame, and then the person will work, right? But a devotee can work with greater vigor. Why? Why? It's given here. He can work with greater vigor. That is the test in spiritual realization. Alright? More energy, more dedication, more energy. The person doesn't require, the devotee doesn't require material motivation, incentives. Right? They say, if a man, he doesn't have a wife, he will not work. He will not work. He doesn't have a wife, he won't work. But because he has this wife, therefore he will make an effort to work. And we find this. When the boys, they don't get married, after some time, they're fed up. They're fed up. In the beginning, it's such relief for them, no marriage, and earning big. And what do? They squander away all their money. I remember this mother telling me, his son is buying one piece of perfume for 5,000 rupees. Right? And some people are earning 10, 15,000, and this boy is spending his money on
Perfume for 5,000.
Perfume 5,000, right? And the mother thinking, I worked so hard my whole life, right? And this boy, as soon as he started working, he's earning, I don't know which huge packet, right? And gradually, what happened? All the desire to work is over. Then they become reckless, right? They become reckless. They become a nuisance to themselves and to their family, right? No Krishna consciousness, right? No Krishna consciousness. So gradually your impetus to even be in Rajogun is over because you have nobody to work for. There's no motivation. Right? Whereas a sannyasi and a brahmachari, proper brahmachari sannyasi, how much they work? This is what's explained here. He's working with greater vigor without motivation of sense enjoyment. So now we're understanding the world, why people behave the way they do. So therefore, it was a rule in Vedic culture that the boys and the girls should get married. If they don't, they become lazy bums. Right? Or they squander away their money. They engage in sinful activities. Just like this doctor, she's telling me, so much problem is happening these days. And then she told me the boys are okay, provided they don't fall in drugs. They're okay. Intelligence is still okay. They're still provided they don't fall in drugs, alcohol, right? Killing young people, ruining everything. Isn't it? No Krishna consciousness, no attempt to increase their Krishna consciousness, and therefore they don't know what to do with their lives. They exist, but they don't know what to do with their lives. And they are better than animals, because animals have low consciousness, whereas they are aware. Right? They are aware, they are awake. This soul who enters a human body, he's aware. His consciousness is developed, right? And to have such a developed consciousness and you don't know what to do with your body, right? It is very, very sad, dangerous. Dangerous for them and for
Society also.
right? Like somebody was telling me how many times she's hearing the ambulance running back and forth, or the police running back and forth, saying, what are these kids doing? What are they doing?
That's
Setting fire to themselves, right? Enjoying life and setting fire to themselves. Ambulance is running, police is running, right? When they have everything, they don't lack anything. That they are misusing their bodies. Right? So it was a very organized society where everything was in control. But here we're speaking of somebody who's beyond, is a self-realized soul, who doesn't require the impetus of a household life to work. Alright? This is state of liberation. Right? Okay.
next. ये ही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुखयोन्य एव ते आधंतवंत कौन्ते न तेषु रमते बुधा. Ye those he certainly samparsaja by connect with the material senses, bhoga, enjoyments, dukkha, distress, yogna, source of eva, certainly they are ade, beginning anta, and vantha, subject to Kauntya, a son of Kunti, never, Tesu, in those, remade, takes delight, Buddha, the intelligent person. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. A son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. But material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary because the body itself is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. Knowing well and joys of transcendental pleasure, how can the liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? In the Padma Purana, it is said, Ramante yoginom nante satyanande siddh chit atmani iti rama pedensu param brahma bhidhyate. The mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from the Absolute Truth, and therefore the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also 5.5.1, it is said, Name deho deha bhajanam narloke kastan kaman arhat vidh bhujyam e tapo divyam putraka yena satvam sudhyad yasmad brahma sukhyam ta anantam. My dear son, there is no reason to labor very hard for sense pleasure while in the human form of life, such pleasures are available to the stool eater hogs. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are the true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures, which are the cause of continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries.
So the intelligent person doesn't take part in the sources of misery you just enumerated, right? So we no need to speak about it again. Which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasure have beginning and end. So the wise man
Never.
does not delight in them. So Padma Puran is saying, Ramante yoginante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padenaso param brahma vidhiyate. The mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasures from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. So what is the source of pleasure? Ram. Alright? Ram is the source of pleasure. Nayam devo deha bhajan yiruki. I have already described this. You're an animal. Right? If you're a human being but you're behaving like an animal. Right? So this is King Rishabdev instructing his sons, specifically Bharat Maharaj. He's saying, what should we do? Instead of, trying to derive pleasures from this body which is available to the pig also, right? Stool eaters, the pigs, the hogs. So, you should do something better. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified. Tapodivyam. And as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Tapodivyam. So, therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures. So, what is the effect of attraction to sense pleasures? Continuous material existence. Continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries. Last verse will do, then we complete. Saknoti haivaya shodham
Shaknoti haivaya shodham
Raksharira vimokshanat
Raksharira vimokshanat
Kama krodho bhavam vegam
Kama krodham bhavam vegam
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha.
Sayukta sa sukhi nara.
Sayukta is able. Eva, Eve in the present body. Yaha, one who sodham, to tolerate. Prank, before. Sara, Sharira, the body. Vimokamat. I'm not having specs, that's why I'm not okay. Generate, from. Vegam, urge. Saha, he. Yuktam, instance. Saha, he. Sukhi, happy. Naraha, human being. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urge of the material senses and the check force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in the world. Purport: If one wants to make a steadily progress on the path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of material senses. There are the forces of talk, force of anger, forces of mind, forces of the stomach, forces of genitals, and forces of tongue. One who is able to control the force of all these different senses and the mind is called Goswami or Swami. Such Goswami live strictly controlled lives and forego altogether the forces of senses, material desires when unstatic generate anger, and thus the mind, eyes, and chest become agitated. Therefore, one must practice to control them before one give up this material body. One who can do this understood to be self-realized and is thus happy is the state of self-realization. It is the duty of the transcendentalist to try stain, stain, strenuously to control desire and anger.
Yeah. Okay, now, so this is the speaking to us directly, right?
Yeah.
Before giving up this present body, see, everybody has taken birth with a percentage of Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, Mad. Everybody who has a material body has a percentage of this. Now, through this practice of Bhakti Yoga, right, we are learning to check this Vega. Kamam, Vacho Vegam, Manasu Krodha Vegam, Udara Upastha Vegam. The Veg means
Flow of
urge,
Intensity.
force.
intensity.
Intensity, force. Vegam is urges, so it's a force. So before, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses, you want to eat, whole day you'll eat. Be regulated, right? If you don't, before I heard Prabhupada speaking before we train, whole day we are eating. Whatever we see, we just pick and eat, right? Whereas now, if anything is there, except it's Mahaprasad had just come, Now, if there is anything, we'll put it with a meal. So it's part of the meal, right? So then you choose how much you're going to have of each, right? Eating wholly, right? I'm giving an example. So if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, Kama, Krodha, Kama, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vegam. So this anger and this desire, Kama, you don't know why suddenly it just explode. From where? We don't know. So, Udvegam, how? Udbhavam, it has sprouted, has given birth. From what? Evake. Alright? So here, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Before you give up this body, we must practice to check. Alright? To check this Vega, the force of desire and anger. What will be the result? If it's well situated and is happy in this world. That as soon as my mind tells me something, I go off. The obedient servant of my mind. Godas. Right?
Yeah.
So, Swami. We must become Goswami. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger. And my material desire, when it's unsatiated, what happens? It creates anger. I want to do this, I can't do it, then anger, right? You want to hit somebody, right? And thus the mind, Prabhupada describing what happens to the body. He's saying the mind, the eyes and chest become agitated. Mind, oh God, we don't want to see all this. Right? Somebody is angry in front of you. Prabhupada is describing. Mind is agitated, right? His eyes are disturbed and his chest is breathing heavily. Therefore, one must practice to control them. Sadhana bhakti means my practice. One must practice to control them before one gives up this material body. One who can do this is understood to be self-realized and is thus happy in the state of self-realization. It is the duty. Now, see what I say? It is the duty. It is nobody's duty to control your mind. Whose duty is it? Your own. Don't say, the duty of my mother, father, brother, husband, friend, relative, neighbor. No. The onus is on us. If you are angry, it is your duty to control yourself. Don't say it's him, or her. She made me, he made me angry. No. It is the duty of the transcendentalist to try strenuously. What is the meaning of strenuously?
Effort, putting lot of effort.
You put on huge effort strenuously to control desire and anger. So if you are transcendentalist, see, how is it that transcendentalists are criticized? How they criticize? When you see a transcendentalist doing something sinful, right? So, he's a transcendentalist. See what he's doing. Yeah. He's angry. Just see how he's angry. So it is the duty of transcendentalists to control the force of desire and anger. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Veg means a power. Out. We don't know when the words came out, right? No. At all. A transcendentalist cannot speak unnecessarily. Checking. So tolerating, no? Before giving up this present body. If one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he's well situated and is happy in this world. This is the conclusion of whatever has been described. So we have understood why we become angry. It is because of material desires, unfulfilled desires, right? And what else did we read? Yeah, so a transcendentalist, he's unmoved by anything pleasant or unpleasant, right? And he is fixed. He's fixed in his service to Krishna, right? See, why is there quarrel in this world? People quarrel over wealth. Right?
Power also. Power.
Yes, yeah. They quarrel over wealth, position, power, right? They have everything, still they will look. Why does this person have this? They go out of their way to seek quarrel. Crazy people, they do this, right? That's why we say, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? Right? That's what we say. Because idle mind,
Never.
devil's workshop. You're bored. You're bored with life. So you go out of your way to seek quarrel. But when you are engaged in service, you're full. You're full. Then you watch the world quarrel.
No.
Isn't it? I'm saying when you are satisfied, when you are in the self.
We are happy within ourselves.
Yes, then you watch the world quarrel. Right? That's what we do. Or you watch the world enjoy their senses. What are they doing? Right?
Yes.
Like devotees distribute Bhagavad Gita to bring knowledge, to pacify the mind. Prahlad Maharaj, he prays to Lord Nrsimhadev. He said, let the mind of the envious be pacified. The entire conflict in this entire world is due to what? Envy. So, Prahlad Maharaj, he prays to Lord Nrsimhadev. He says, let the entire world be pacified by remembering your lotus feet. Meaning this is a practice. So here Krishna is saying it's not an overnight thing. They say before you give up the present body, alright? Before we giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urge of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he's well situated and happy in this world. So these are valuable, most valuable instruction of Bhagavad Gita. And we say Bhagavad Gita is ABC of the Vedic philosophy. Just the ABC, right? Basic knowledge, meaning this Vedic civilization, Vedic culture was known for being a very peaceful society. Satisfied and peaceful society. So that's why this aphorism everywhere in India is let the world be peaceful, happy and peaceful. It is aphorism that everybody speaks about. Isn't it? Yeah. Any greeting, Makar Sankranti, Diwali, anything, this is the phrase we use, right? Because that was the standard of life in Vedic culture. And why were the people like this? Because they followed the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. They made an effort to control. Now, it is the society of impatience. Right? Impatience was remarkable. I remember, like maybe I went to Baroda, to Baroda. So we were walking in this temple of Rancho Rai. So we were walking in the street and we were going, and when I saw the people, so everything, and I thought, no wonder anybody could conquer them. They're so peaceful, they're so docile. You don't require much force to dominate and rule over such a society. The nature of the people. Right? As an outsider, when I said, I can understand now why. Why? They could do it so easily. So now what we are saying we should put up our arms and fight with each other, right? Right? Is it creating anything better? Now we have taken on the gunas of those who ruled India. We have learned what to do like them. Right? So therefore it is level 1, to tolerate the urges, just the preliminary. Anyway, it's all intermingled. It's all intermingled in society, culture, civilization, and this practice of Krishna consciousness is all intermingled because only humans can practice Krishna consciousness. Right? So, gradually, Krishna is elevating us to the platform of human beings. All right, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.